All right, so I'm gonna just play this through. This is from level 10 and on, acts 1 through 2. So for those of you who don't know, I got to play some Path of Exile 2 this week. Let me know if the volume is a little bit too loud. I got to play some Path of Exile 2 this week, and this is the latest version of it. Straight up, right out the gate, I'm just gonna say it. This is probably the best game that I've played in the past few years, maybe, as far as I can remember. Keep in mind that is based off of an alpha/beta, so this is obviously not the final product of the game. So I don't know what the end game loop is like, which is arguably way more important, the most important thing when it comes to these games and how successful they're going to be. But based off of the play that we went through, this is definitely one of the best games that I've played. So I'm just going to play this through. Feel free to ask any questions that you guys want. And yeah, I guess I will just break this down for you guys. Just so you know, this is actually a couch co-op. I am using a controller, so you're gonna have to excuse my scuffed gameplay here because I haven't used a controller in like over 20 years. FYI, I was not able to play on a PC for this test, but the game itself is the same. And I know a lot of people are talking about the controller experience. As someone that hasn't picked up a controller in 20 years, I will say that it did not take me long to get a feel for the controller and enjoy myself. You know what I mean? It wasn't frustrating. So everyone else that was out there that had been used to a controller said that it was great. After I kind of got used to the controls and memorized what I was doing, I thought the controls felt good. So if you are a console controller type of person, if you like couch co-op, this was fantastic. This was really, really, really good. I also like the fact that it's not split screen, but I don't really want to talk too much about the controller/couch co-op experience, even though that was the test, just because I know a lot of people are going to be talking about it. But if you're watching the gameplay here, I think one of the biggest things that has stood out to me was the was the animation in speed. If you notice, this isn't super fast, right? Everything about this game felt very polished. It felt like I was playing a AAA game. The movement, the fluidity, the quality of the animations, everything felt really, really good. I'm playing the monk right now, so I'm on the right side here. I'm playing this. And then on the left was played by Mr. Llama. Shout outs to Llama. He was playing the sword class. One of the biggest W's that I took away from this was just how impactful the combat felt, right? So I actually talked to Jonathan Rogers about this with Path of Exile 1, and I told him, I said, dude, when I was playing this game, this did not feel like a Path of Exile 1 endgame experience that I saw my streamer friends play. Like if you see Cute Dog or some of these other guys play, dude, it's like flashing lights, disco mode. They're just going around, zooming at 1,000,000 miles per hour and exploding everything. I can't tell what the fuck is happening, right? But with this, and I know this is still early game before all these multipliers and modifiers have been added, but you could just tell that it's a lot slower, right? And Jonathan actually said that he didn't want Path of Exile 2 to be that just crazy, I don't know what the fuck is happening. You know what I mean? He didn't want it to be like that. He wants for the players and viewers to be able to see what's actually happening. But he also said, obviously, it's going to be faster than this. This is like level 10. You know, we don't have attack speed, movement speed, all that. It's obviously going to be significantly faster than this. But it's not going to be like PoE 1 where it's just fucking going crazy. And I love that. I love that way more. This is another reason why I was really interested with No Rest for the Wicked, because it felt very Souls-like, and it is, right? And I actually mentioned that as an example. And what I mentioned in regards to No Rest for the Wicked to Jonathan was that Path of Exile 2 felt like it was more in the direction of No Rest for the Wicked compared to Path of Exile 1. Not that I'm saying that it's comparable in the sense that it's very close to No Rest for the Wicked, because No Rest for the Wicked is very much a Souls game, more so than an ARPG with combat. And he agreed that it is more towards that side, but obviously not there. In my personal opinion, what I felt like No Rest for the Wicked is here, and then D4 is here. It felt, Path of Exile 2 felt like somewhere in the middle, or not in the middle, between these two, a little bit closer to obviously D4, right? So again, I don't know exactly how much faster it's going to pick up, but to hear Jonathan say that he does want you to see what's happening and he does want you to know what's going on, I think that's huge, both as a streamer and as someone playing the game, right? The other reason why that I'm pretty sure this is never going to get to the speed of that is that one of the biggest and most important elements to combat is this dodge roll. You're going to notice that I'm dodge rolling here. You're going to notice there is no stamina bar. There's no cooldown. There's none. There's absolutely none, right? And that's where I felt this game. I felt the Souls-like, not feature, but I felt some of that Souls-like gameplay with Path of Exile 2, because this spacebar is extremely, this dodge roll is extremely important. These fights, keep in mind what you're about to see here, I'm level freaking 10. I have not seen at so many epic fights, high quality polished fights in the first 10 levels of any game. You're gonna see right here, I put a bell down, and this bell, you can, I'm gonna talk about the combat here in a little bit. I'll tell you guys about the bell later. But you're gonna see like that space bar is extremely important. And the later fights you go, the more important it becomes. Guys, again, as you're seeing some of these boss fights, just remember this is like under level. It is like level 10 and under shit, right? So yeah, the fact that the space bar is real. I just died here. I already died here. The fact that this is a very, the fact that I felt a little bit of that Souls-like gameplay in PoE 2, for me, that was one of the biggest W's for my personal preference. I know some people might not actually like this. I think my guy's just, he's trying to revive me here. Llama's trying to revive me. I was struggling here. I was getting wrecked. CC, yeah, and you can stagger the boss too. There is a stagger. We both died. There's a stagger bar for the boss, and you can interrupt the boss, and then you just go to town on him for a little bit. No, it doesn't. The dodge roll does not have a slotted ability. And like I said, sorry, I know I'm kind of bouncing around here, but like I said, the fact that the dodge roll doesn't have a cooldown, and it doesn't have a stamina bar or any of that stuff, and based off of my experience with all the fights, not only the boss fights, but even these trash mobs, you have to respect these trash mobs. We died a few times to trash mobs. Especially me, because I'm Pepega on controller, right? These, yeah, and the fact that you have to use spacing is really important. Just to me, it tells me that this is not going to be a spammy, you just go to town running around game. Excuse me. You have to pay attention to the attacks. You have to understand your skill animation speed, the enemy skill animation speed. You just need to pay attention, and you need to use that space. I love that. So this little bell that I put down is a skill unique to Monk. And you're gonna see every time I hit that bell, it makes like a big little AoE attack right there. You see how it's kind of exploding? Anyone that hits that bell is going to proc a big AoE attack. And you can see when I put it down, Llama, the Sork, is just going to town on that bell. And we are just melting this thing right here. I love this shit. By the way, even Jonathan said this little bell is low-key broken. If you get like super high attack speed classes, hammering on that bell is just crazy amounts of damage. Another big W, I don't know how much of it you're going to see here, but there's a lot of synergy. There's a ton of synergy with abilities in this game. So let's say this Sork puts down a little flame wall. If he's shooting like projectiles through the flame, they become flame projectiles. And it kind of reminded me of Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 kind of has things that are like that. And to me, that's fantastic, right? This is your own footage? Yeah. I'm playing the Monk, and Mr. Llama, who is my partner, he's playing the Sork here. This is a little bit later. This is like in Act 2. You get infinite res? I don't know. It's okay. It's not. During a boss fight, it's really difficult to get a res off because it takes time. Because you get if you get interrupted, it stops your res. I don't know if you have a set amount of reses. I'm pretty sure it's infinite res. I don't think there are any limitations to reses. Rolling into a wall classic. To be fair, he might have thought he was the other person. Sometimes that happened. I wish there were better indicators, but Jonathan doesn't want immersion to be broken because we were suggesting having like a red and blue outline on your character to be able to distinguish your player, but he wasn't really a fan of it. He wants it to be a little bit more raw, a little bit more plain. You bet you didn't get into PoE 1? Yeah, I'm thinking about getting into it, man. PoE 2 was such a great experience for me. I'm really considering playing PoE 1. What level are these guys here? This is, I mean, this has to be like level what? Certainly under level 15. Look at these fights. Chat, I don't know, man. I feel like they can get some seriously good fights in this game. I'm anxious to see what like some of these end game pinnacle bosses are going to be like. I mean, it just looks visually good. You know what I mean? This visually looks good. So he's been staggered, so he's frozen here.
Make haste! He must not escape.
Yo, that bell is so good. I just put the bell down, then I use my my R1 skill. Look at this. Look at this. And the bell gets pushed over too. Oh, he's melting, bro. That bell is insane. I'm about to ditch.
It seems corruption takes on many forms.
How's the pot system? So you have these, so you have the flasks, right? And when you use flasks, it just fills from left to right, and you have the ability to pull from a specific set flask. It's similar to PoE 1, but I remember Jonathan explaining the differences. Remember, I don't know the system in PoE 1 that much. It is a little bit refined. I thought the pot system was great in this. Were there any? Yeah, there are like poison resist and shit like that. Yeah. And you can use those on demand as well.
You had your chance.
Look at this, man. These fights look so good. I mean, just the quality. So this guy turns into a wolf and he could one-shot you. He just stabbed him and just froze him. I got the bell down. The co-op in this game is insanely fun. Just because of all the synergy that you could have between skills and abilities. I got the bell down and look at us just go to town on him with the bell. Also, we noticed something with Elvin. Oh! We also noticed something. Look at this bell. Notice how it's frozen. You guys like that shit? Because there's a frost attack that was placed on it. Dude. There's a lot of synergy between abilities. I am not doing it justice. Like even these abilities that I have, it's not just you spam. Like even these abilities, like if I use these abilities and I proc something, then this ability is going to be a big AoE. This ability is going to be a projectile that's thrown out. I'm not doing it well enough to be able to show you guys. So if my monk were in the hands of an experienced player, the combat would look even better at this stage of the game. Even as early as like level 12, which is where I'm at right now. So now that bell is sitting on top of like a frost ability. So that bell is now synergizing and applying like frost effects. From what I remember. Dodge rolls are really important.
How dare you abandon the horn I've given you?
So now he's transforming into the wolf. This is like phase 2. This shit will one-shot. And I'm dead. He's gonna detinch. Graphics PoE versus D4, which one looks better? A PoE 2 looks better. Looks better. You see, he was able to res me in that fight. Dude, look at how much damage we're doing when that bell is down. And it's well placed. No! I ate that damage. So the Sork also seemed to get better later. It was kind of meh at this stage of the game. I was doing like most of the damage. And what, like towards the end of the testing period, when Llama was able to get some other like support gems and shit, that's when it started juicing. This is phase 3 of the fight. This guy had like this guy already had like maybe like 2-ish attacks that one shot. I die here. Each phase, actually I don't know if he's got a one-shot phase in this. Wait, do I die here? I'm pretty sure I do. Oh, it was so close. Yeah, I die right here. Yeah, there's the one shot. That ability, well, that ability nearly one shot you. So we die. Fight looks good. This fight is incredible. Sir, this is like a level 10 fight. This is Act 1, level like 10, 11, or 12. Think about this. That is one of the things I was most impressed with this game. The amount of quality fights that we had just within the first 10 to 12 levels. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know what it is about this stage. Nothing special going on here, but I love this. This looks so cool to me. I don't know why, but I just looked at this. I was like, yo, this is pretty cool. Just going through the wheat field like that. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Anyways, guys, that's it. This is the last boss fight that I'll fight. Oh my god, look at that! Ah! Chat, you want good cinematics? Look at, did you guys just see that shit? I love this type of shit in video games too. That dark. Yo, like, how many of you guys thought these were heads? These are fucking heads. Look at this.
You have been sentenced to death.
Ah, I love this shit, man. It's so good. Like, even if this guy is a non-threat, right? Which, by the way, most of these guys are a threat to a certain degree. Even if he's a non-threat, this is just a cool fucking mob / mini boss to fight. You know what I mean? It's just a cool fight. You see that sick little, you know, that cutscene, and then even like his animations here, it just, the polish, you know? The quality of life, yeah. I'm super excited about this game, man. That, I'm sure, was a one-shot. There it is. He dies here. He gets frozen on the bell. It's Jover for him. I'm gonna have to download PoE again. I don't know. When this game comes out, I might be a PoE main. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If I upload this to YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. We got a lot of Path of Exile 2 videos in store, and hope you guys enjoy it.